showing you guys the Stronger Together kit, how I'm using it in my Bible. And this is the June devotional kit from Illustrated Faith. If you have not seen it yet, I'll have a link down below with the unboxing. But it came with the June kit. You had the option to do the standard kit as we normally get, and it came with just a standard little small set of stamps in the size that we usually get. But this month they also had the option for just a little bit more. You could buy an additional stamp set that was a bonus set that comes with all these adorable pieces so that you could stamp and build your own house and villages and stuff like that, which is a recurring theme in the kit. And so this is one of the ephemera pieces that came, and so you can see how that's really throughout the whole kit when you see the unboxing if you haven't already. So what I wanted to do today, I've had some people say they wanted to see how I was going to use the bonus stamp set that came with it. What's really cool is if you are puzzled by this and it's just too many shapes, on the back is this little card that came with it. You see these little designs here. This will give you an idea, some inspiration where to get started. Also the pieces, like I showed you, that came in the kit, you can use those as your inspiration as well. So I have, for this, I'm going to be showing you, you can see how I have started. This is just a foundation. So if you're thinking, that looks like 2-year-old drawing, don't worry, this is just the foundation color, and then I'll show you how we're gonna make the page come together in a little bit, but you want to do this part first. So this is a fun technique to use with gelatos. I absolutely love gelatos. Gelatos are an art medium that basically looks like a little lipstick or chapstick. It comes in a twist tube. You can get all different colors and styles. I have other videos showing how to use these. I can link that down below as well, but this is one of my favorite tools to use. I would love to have the Neo color crayons to use with this. I just don't have them right now. So I want to show you a way that you can use these to get lots of color down for your stamps. If you don't have stamp pads as well, that would coordinate. So don't feel like if you get these and you don't have all these different cute colors of stamps and my ink pads that match, because I don't have all these colors of ink pads, that's okay. I'm going to show you a fun way to do so if you happen to have gelatos like I do. So use what you have and find fun ways to do it. Now, all of these colors that I'm using, I'll have them listed down below, but I just went on here and swatched a few so I could see how they were going to look. These are some that I have added watercolor to, and they're really fun. They give like a little shimmer on some of them. Some of them are metallics with the shimmer, and some aren't. I think it's going to be fun to have that combination. But let's go ahead and get started showing you what I have been doing here to get my little houses on here. So I am, while I'm doing this, well, before I get any farther, you have gelatos. I've got me just a little cup of water here, a little rag to wipe off my brush on, and then a couple paint brushes if you need different sizes. This just is about like a, just a small square shaped bristles on the end, nothing fancy. Okay, so I have my stamps sitting here close to me so that I can see the shapes of the buildings. What I'm doing is I'm not stamping with them yet. I'm going to use these as a guide to put some base color, and then I'll show you how I'm going to use the stamps. So I have a lot of the little houses already here, but I want to go ahead and I'm going to add one more to the mix, and on this last little part here, and I'll probably end up doing a small one and it'll hang off the page a little bit, and which I like. I think that's fun. And I'm going to go ahead and do it with my gelato here with this mango, since I don't have a ton of it. You're going to take your brush, dip it down in your water, tap off excess, and then just immediately start brushing the top of that gelato. Okay, that's going to get your color on your brush. Then, using your stamps as a guide, depending which shape you want to use, I think I'm going to go ahead and do maybe another one like this smaller one here. You're going to just go straight to the page and add that color, okay? And that is all there is to it. So you're going to add that, and it gives a watercolor effect without really doing a whole lot of work. This doesn't take a lot of skill, artistic skill. I go back again over it without dipping more water. I dip water one time, and then I want to get more vibrant colors, so then I just go back, activating that with my brush to get the more bold pop that I can brush over it and see how it adds a more brighter golden color to it without, being too washed out. If you want it more washed out, then that's perfectly fine, okay? Then just wash that brush out, dab it off on your rag, and then I'm going to need a color for my rooftop. And I think I'm going to do the green. I really liked how that one turned out. And this is Pistachio. So again, I'll show you again, dip your brush in there, tap off a little bit of the excess water, activate the top, and get some of that color on your brush. Okay, and then I just look over here to see kind of what I might want to use for the roof. I'm going to do kind of that same shape. Remember, I'm going to have this one hang off the page a little, so I'm not doing that same kind of triangles on the end. I'm just going to do half of it. And then just put more color on there and paint right onto the page, okay? So that is perfect. I've got the color I want, and then I just rinse out my brush. Now, you might be wondering, can I just take the gelato color straight on the page and then activate it with water? You could do that if you wanted, if you felt more comfortable using these like as a crayon. But I warn you in doing that when you go to add water, if you were to color and then add water on your brush and go to the page and you're trying to get all that color mixed in the way you want it, you may run into the problem of having too much water on the page and it becoming so crinkled and saturated with a ton of bleed through. So keep that in mind if you were to try that. But I really find this way helps keep my color and the amount of water controlled that I'm putting on the page just by brushing straight on the gelato. So now that we have all of the color down for the base, I'm going to let this dry, then get ready, and I'm going to show you how to go back and add your little fine details like you see on the card here. Okay, now I'm back, and we have the base color of the gelato. You can see where I have started stamping some already, and so you can see how it's starting to come together by using the stamps that came in the kit. I'm not using let me get a piece of paper here. I'm not actually using like these darker pieces to fill in like you would if you had a stamp in that color. I'm just using the outline shapes with black ink to give that outline effect. I've used like this one with black, the little hearts, the little doors and windows, and that's all I did to go back. Now you could do this with a marker if you wanted to. You wouldn't have to use the stamps, but I really like how they have the little designs already for me, so I don't have to worry about doing that, okay? So let me just scoot this over a little bit, and I want to show you how I'm doing that in case you're curious. You've got your little acrylic block here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up one of the outline pieces. I've got it adhered on my stamp block, and then I'm just going to let me try to get this where you can probably see it a little bit better. I just apply the ink, not too much on there, and then I'm going to come over here and block that out. Now, one thing I liked doing was I liked having it kind of offset. So like you can see here, this one's offset coming inside the yellow, the rooftop I have done with there, and then also this little house too with the triangle. I have offset the rooftop. So I'm just dabbing off the ink that was on that stamp real quick. And then I'm going to put that one back. This one needs a little door. So I'm going to pick a door for it. And so it's really fun to just get creative, kind of creating different houses. It's fun. It's not like you have to have a standard look or technique. And for this door, because it has these little bitty lines in it, I want to make sure I don't over ink, because it won't look right. So let me see if we can do this. There we go. Perfect. These don't have to be perfect. I think little imperfections with stamping is what makes it look so much fun. Now, you can see where I have touched this and kind of maybe smeared a little. It's all right. Don't worry about that. And now on that one, I want to add one of these little cross that came with it to look like the little window in a way, or a cross on the house. So let me just stamp that one right there. And there you have it. And that's all I'm doing. Now, one thing is that with the other kit of stamps that came with it, for this one house, you don't have an outline for it. No worries. On this one, you have this straight line that came with the kit, with the supplemental set. Grab that and just ink that up. And then Make sure I don't have too much. And then what I'm gonna do is just come over here and outline it myself using this straight line. Whoops. And there you have it, okay? So I'm not gonna do the top of the roof line with it, I don't think. What I'm gonna show you is, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll do the top too. It won't hurt. Maybe just do it like that. Another little one down there. And then you've only got just a small space on the sides, so just take and only ink up part of that stamp, and then you're good to go. You can just stamp the side like that, okay? Actually, I'm not gonna stamp again. I'm just gonna leave it. And there we have it. Okay, so you can see I got a little bit of that stamp off of it at the top, and that's okay because I'm gonna be going and adding some things right up there above it to finish the page off. So don't worry if that happens to you. I know you're looking at thinking, oh, that's awful. But we're gonna kind of cover that up anyways with some of the stickers that came with the kit. So that's how you would do your outlines, okay? Once you've got your base color with the gelatos, go back and add your details. Now, the kit came with this little bush here, or tree. And so I didn't have a brown ink pad that I really liked, but I'm using this Recollections. These are little markers. And what I've been doing is just coloring on directly onto this stamp. You don't get a ton of color from it, but I'll show you what you can do. And then add that right on your page. Now you've got the outline for it. Go back in and just lightly add so you're not making it look so definite like you've drawn it and no one will ever know. And I'm going to do that again here. Make sure you can see that. And then I think I'm going to add another little tree over here on this side and offset it off the page a little bit. And then just add my marker a little bit, okay? Then, once you've done that, take that stamp off, and I'm going to add the top of the tree. And then for this one, I did have this really cute green stamp pad that came with one of the old style devotional kits from Illustrated Faith, and I'm gonna go just right back in and add that green for my tree. Okay, now, one thing I've just wanted to show you that I forgot is we need to go back and add some color with the black for the bush. I went ahead and just added a little bit of green at the bottom with the paintbrush style that I was doing earlier, and now I just need to go back and add these little bushes to get a little color in there. This one is pretty thick, so let me go with, there was a smaller option here. I think I'm gonna use this one because it's just an outline. It doesn't have the solid black that you would be filled in, so be very careful with this one. You don't overdo it, so you can still kind of get that look. Well, I may have too much. No, this one is solid, I'm sorry. This one's solid, but it's a smaller, so that's okay. We'll just add it right on top of that. And just play with it and get it till you get it the way you want it. Here's another one of the smaller little, looks like a flower or some kind of little bush. Put that there, and that's all I'm doing. I'm gonna add one beside the tree maybe, add one here. And I just think this is really fun to just play with it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And that is all there is for that. So now that I have it pretty much the way I like it, I think this is so adorable with the way the colors are, and adding my outline using the stamps that came with it, but not having to go and buy a lot of stamp pads that match. So let me get this page wrapped up, and then I'll come back to show you the finished product. Okay, so I'm back. Here is the finished page. I am absolutely in love with this page. This is probably one of my top favorite pages I've done with this kit so far. I just love the way that turned out. I was able to, you know, still use the stamps in the way I wanted with lots of colors and not having to buy extra ink pads that matched. And so All I did was, this is one of the printables that came in the free download. I downloaded and printed them on the Avery clear sticker paper or labels, and this was a Sweet Friendship Refreshes the Soul. It was actually on one of the rectangular cutouts, and I just cut it down so that it would fit perfect right there, and that worked out great between the little roofs or rooftops. And then I added some little black markings down at the bottom around the little tree there on the top of that house to add a little bit more detail and accents on the house. And then I went back in and I just marked out my verse with a pen. I wrote where this entry came from, because I like to know if it's from a devotional or a book. Sermon notes, things like that. Now, I made a tab using one of the journaling cards that matched, that would coordinate with this, and I attached it using some polka dot washi tape that I had. Added that washi down at the bottom just to give a little bit more color and tie it all in together. On my tab, which I am absolutely loving, there were these little words and phrases that came with the kit that say, "We belong to each other, made for connection. Thank you, Lord, for my tribe." But instead of using "we belong to each other," the way it came, I just put "made for each other." And I put those words up here on the top of the tab, and I love how that turned out. This page really was meant for my husband, because we are truly best friends. We refresh each other truly so much. We were made for each other. He is just my best bud, and so I wanted to do this page, I guess you would say, in honor of him, and so that's why I chose to put "made for each other." These little stickers down here and up here came with the kit. I just cut that sticker in half, put part of it there and there. This sticker is one of the hearts with the bush. I thought that would tie in great, and added that. Added my date, and that's it. That is using this new supplemental stamp set that came with it, that will only be available with the kit. So I'm gonna have links down below for all this. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to see your entries. If you try this technique, I think you're gonna have a ton of fun with it. I just love the way it turned out with the color scheme. So anyways, have a great day, and enjoy your Stronger Together kit. Bye-bye.